Hey everyone, and welcome back to A Bit Tactical, where today I'm going to be talking about the Incursor Minelayer for the Phobos strike team. At the end of the video, I'm going to be doing the whole rules read and an explanation of how the operative actually works, but that's going to be at this timestamp. I want to get right into the guide, the tips, the tricks, how to actually use the Minelayer for those who already know him and just want to know a little bit more about him. In my personal opinion, there are one of two uses for the Minelayer. One of them being the area denial portion. So look at my little demonstration here, right? If you were to just be going through this mine, he could make this charge, right? Very easily make the charge right into the Minelayer. However, obviously, we have the mine right there. With the mine in there, he is going to have to go over the cover, take a little bit more movement in order to do it, and then he's going to fall just short of doing this. On an open board, this is what you're going to want to try to do, is give them just a little bit of area denial. Again, on an open board, a little bit harder, you have to find a little space like that. However, into the dark, you can put this mine right on a hatchway and then basically block off access to an entire room just with this, which means that on certain maps, right, with certain layouts, you might completely deny access to one entire objective marker unless they go through another door. And if they've already placed people there, then they have to go all the way around, or they just have to set off the mine. So it's making your opponent have to choose between two really bad choices. Setting off the mine may not kill them, but it will take down that APL. It'll completely stop anybody in a horde team, and it'll also stop somebody with an elite team as well, right? The elite model will still have one APL, but if you're already concealed in cover, not within 2 inches of the hatchway, and the mine's there, they can't do anything. All they can do is move, basically move back into safety, and then no, they can't even move because they've already moved, right? They have to dash away, and they might not be safe doing that. So yeah, it's really good for blocking off things into the dark. Now, the Incursor part is actually very crucial for this Minelayer particularly, because I think he's kind of built for into the dark, right? He ignores obscuring, and he has that mine so he can deny very effectively entry into an area. However, there's another thing I think you guys should really keep in mind with the Incursor Minelayer is that he actually has 5 special weapon rules if you use all of your stuff correctly, right? He'll have balance from deadly shots. He'll have P1 from special ammunition. He'll have Seek Light from the Vox Breaker. He ignores obscuring, and he naturally has Saturate, which ignores cover saves, which actually makes him a pretty deadly model with just his bolter, especially again into the dark, ignoring obscuring. There's no light terrain other than light barricades that you set up. In that case, the Incursor Minelayer I think is actually a super strong and deadly operative that you're going to want to bring. Of course, to pop all of that off, you're going to have to give him the equipment, have a Vox Breaker on your team, and just spend a little bit of CP to get deadly shots, which you're going to do anyway. And just one last thing is that the mine is considered a pickup marker action, which means that it's an actual tangible thing that he is carrying, which means that if he dies, he drops it wherever he's at. So this can obviously go super bad wrong for you, but it can also not do that. It can actually go really, really well for you as well. You could place it anywhere. This only applies if you're not within combat range of somebody, right? But if you get shot and it's dropped, let's say on an objective, now you have a very good chance of like annoying your opponent even with your death. Okay, which is kind of funny. So if this is a guy, this is really a frontline guy. You want him on the front. You want him on your opponent's side. You want him in an annoying place so that even if he dies, he still does something. All right, enough with all that. All the guides, the tips. You guys are the best of the best. Okay, I understand you more than anybody else. We don't like the rules read people, but I do like you. All right, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and all that good stuff. And now on to the rules read. The Incursor Minelayer has normal Phobos stats, 3 APL, 7-inch move, a 3-up save, and 12 wounds. He has the Oculus Bolt Carbine and Fist, each of them coming with 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, and 3/4 damage profile. He also has Saturate, which means he ignores cover saves. He has 2 special abilities. He has 1 special ability, but they have 2 different things for them. The Haywire Mine is the operative is carrying your Haywire Mine marker. It can perform the pickup marker action on that marker, but that marker cannot be placed within an enemy's operative control range. If this operative is incapacitated while carrying that marker and that marker cannot be placed, it's removed with this operative, which means that it can be dropped. If somebody kills you with a shooting attack, it can be dropped right where you died. And then also has Proximity Mine. The first time your Haywire Mine marker is within another operative's control range, remove that marker. Subtract 1 from that operative's APL stat until the end of its next activation, and inflict 2d3 plus 3 damage on it. If it isn't incapacitated, end its activation, if any, even if that action's effects aren't fulfilled. If it cannot be placed, move it to the minimum amount to do so. Note that this operative is ignored for these effects, i.e. it cannot set it off or take damage from this marker. So anybody that gets into the control range of this marker loses an APL until the next activation. So this activation and the next activation, they lose an APL. They do 2d3 damage plus 3, right? So maximum damage is 9 on this. Not killing an elite member, but it's seriously messing him up. And it ends its action. So whatever action it's currently doing. So this interrupts a movement. So if they're 2 inches into their movement, they set off this mine, that ends immediately. They lose an APL. So if they've used an APL, they lose an APL. A horde team means that they are down to nothing. They cannot do anything for the rest of their turn. A elite team member, they have 1 APL left, and they've already moved or dashed. So, and this guy can't set it off. So, pretty good mine, actually. Really good mine. Really good for Into the Dark. All right, Rules Read people. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Remember, I like you better than I like the guide people, okay? I like you way better. So don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to, watch every single one of my videos 10 times. Okay, do that. All right, I'll see you next time.